You always respect bosses, man. One thing I've always loved is the real bosses, the real people who are aging, not looking corny in hip hop. I've always respected how they move. Alfred Telefarrell, Miss Telefarrell TV, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Subscribe. You need to hit that subscribe button like right now. And I can give you more content. I can't keep giving you content like this if the channels and the subscribers not moving on up. We got to surpass a lot of these people, and we just got to work and grind our behind off for every subscriber that we get. But I'm working on it. All right. One thing I like about Rick Ross, because I just was having a conversation about how I thought a lot of guys were not aging great in hip hop. I thought the new 35 to 45-year-old rapper is still trying to do too much. There are a few artists who I do like how they've aged. I think Rosé's like 40, 41, somewhere around that. I like how Ross is aging. The music is slowly starting to mature. It's sonically just starting to appease me more. I don't feel like I'm getting a whole lot of mess. There's still mess sporadic out there in the music, but I don't feel like it's just 1,000 drug dealing. How do I put this, man? I think the music is evolving. Does it still need to evolve more? Yes, I think all these artists do. But I think it is evolving where he could one day look up at the age of 47 and make a Magna Carta Holy Grail, which is like Jay's like last hurrah, right? And it's like it's grown music. It's more about where he's at in life and how he's worked his way through hip hop. I think Ross can get there. I think Ross can definitely get there. He's on track to get there, definitely. But salute to big homie Ricky Rosé, who anytime I'm in the same city as him and the team, they always show love. It's always been love. Catch him at a Wingstop or something like that, they always showing nothing but love. You hear him on the intro of my interviews. One thing that Ross has never shied away from is confrontation. He wants to be able to talk it out if it's an issue. Let's talk about it like bosses do. A lot of guys that's in that position, they don't want to talk because they still childish. They ain't boss, they just making money. You can make money, but you ain't a boss. There's a difference. And Ross was doing an interview. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the name of the outlet is Best Seat in the House. Guy named Hovain Hilton. And he was talking about his relationship with Drake. It was a pretty decent interview, as a matter of fact. I liked the interview. And Ross was like, look, I recently sat down with Drake, and we talked about some things, about Meek Mill. And j.prince made this happen. He was like, I just wanted to talk to him to get some understanding. And I can only imagine Ross's position because he's the boss. He makes money off Meek Mill. He's loyal to Meek Mill. As loyal a boss as I've seen anybody in the last decade come. Right? As at that CEO position over a label, like over MMG and all that, a group. I really respect how Ross moves. I really respect how Ross moves. He does it with the best of them. And for him to have to stand up for Meek, even though Meek started that, I think Ross did it the best way you could as a boss. I think he did it the best way you could as a boss. In a world where Wayne ain't standing up and coming at Meek, that's technically Drake's Young Money boss, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, Ross just does everything the right way to me. And I can only imagine the conversation that he had to have with Drake about Meek. Because, again, Drake just responded. Now, he's continuing to respond. He's giving it to Meek now. But this all started because Meek Mill put Drake's name in his mouth or in his tweets and became Twitter fingers over who wrote what verse, and thinking that Drake was dissing him on his own record, talking about him in his own song. And that's kind of what all this on the Rico record, that's kind of where all this stems from. I can only imagine Ross's position. He just kind of wanted some understanding, is the term that he coined, to see what was going on. And I respect that. I don't got to get physical. I don't got to get violent. I'm pretty sure Ross talked to Drake about pulling up in Philadelphia. I didn't like when Drake was in Philly and he was on stage dissing Meek in Philly. I thought that was too far. It was called the Summer 16 tour. He said he was out here looking for revenge. I thought that was a little bit too far. He put himself in a bad spot, even though he's sworn with security. Meek's team should have did something, and that's what they tried to do. But I can only imagine how that conversation went. And I would love for one of them to speak on it a little bit more. And if it's private, it's confidential, it's fine. But I would love hearing how Ross approached that conversation, because technically Drake really wasn't the person who did wrong in that. And you gotta look at somebody like Ross. He's had success with Drake musically. That Diced Pineapple record is huge. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite Ross records of all time. And to not be able to work with the biggest artist, he ain't got to be the best rapper, but the biggest artist we got in rap right now. It had to, I ain't gonna say it hurt Ross's brand, but it's gotta suck, you know, because you lose them by default through your loyalty to your artist, Meek Mill. So I wonder how that conversation went, and does that mean that these two can make music, or how would that work? And is he going to get Drake and Meek in a room together? I think Ross probably needs to talk to Meek more than he does Drake, because again, Drake didn't start this with Meek. Meek started with Drake, and the aggression always seemed to be on Meek's side, and Drake was just responding like, damn, I got to do something. This dude tried to end my career. And I'm going to get to that as well. I'm going to do another. As a matter of fact, I got to follow a vlog on what Meek has did to Drake. All right. So that's kind of what it is. All right. Ross said j.prince sat Drake and Rose down recently, and they've talked about some things. And one of the things they talked about was getting some understanding over the Meek Mill situation. All right. What do you think about that? Would you like to see a Ross and Drake collaboration one more time? What do you think about the collab? Talk to me in the comment box below. Thank y'all for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. Subscribe to my channel. It's key that y'all do that. Check out my website. It's MrT.com. Young black entrepreneurship at its finest. And I'm not just throwing bullshit at your face. I'm actually trying to give you positive energy as well. We talking sports a lot. It's just not all drama. I ain't talking about who slept with who. We're having fun. We are still talking about the culture. I'm giving my honest opinion on it now and reporting on some of the news. But it's fun, and we're not going too in depth with private situations. Thank y'all so much. I'm out. If you're looking to book me for an interview video or by phone, if you're looking to have your music or your skill featured on my daily podcast, if you're looking to book me for a speaking engagement to help motivate some kids, if you're looking to have me rock some of your clothing to help promote your brand, make sure you hit me up at booking@mrteleferro.com. Again, that's booking@mrteleferro.com.